Too many to keep track of.
Yeah, it's a big number.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of Off Program. And I heard some pretty substantial rumors about Travis.
I
Like,
also heard something about you.
yeah, we don't want to talk about those because those don't need to get out of the world. But thinking there might be powerlifting meet in your future.
You potentially. I'm gonna come deadlift with you guys on what's it tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Come deadlift, see how it goes.
What'll have to happen in order to make a meet happen tomorrow?
Things don't feel like they will get injured if I progress them.
That's fair. That's a reasonable start point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will accept that.
Yeah, like it, because I'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
I think I'll be good. And yeah, I won't be like that strong, but the strength comes pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think like for your circumstances, like there's the meet at the Realm in September.
Yeah,
There's the one I'm doing in Florida in December.
yeah.
I think if you wanted to do a meet, the Florida one would be a better time. Because
Well,
longer
yeah.
prep, some more time to build into it, because you won't be just like having to figure out how to pull a 1 rep max again in 9 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I think you'll, not that the meets up here are bad by any means, but I think you'll have a better time at the Florida meet. Just because like if you did the meet up here, it'd be like you and Darrell and a bunch of dudes pulling 600.
Yeah,
Whereas like if you're in Florida, there'll be a bunch of people that are strong, more so than up here, and it feels more fun to do a meet where everyone is going big than to be the only guy going big at a meet.
yeah, for sure. See, the issue is like I'm gonna get smoked on bench.
So
With 10 weeks of training, I might be able to do like 430.
yeah, that's fine. Just pull big, squat big, make up for it.
Okay. All right. So what's the training gonna look like?
Honestly, I think that we could probably just see how things look and just run some fives on all three for the first couple weeks and just like load it to the point where nothing's going to break off, get used to kind of pushing in a lower rep range and just kind of ramp up some fives, see how the picture looks. And then I'd want to see how the picture looks before I say like, let's do this, let's do that. Because I just want to establish where baseline is.
Yeah. Would it be like squat, bench, and dead all one time a week?
So usually what I like to do is I like to have again, for most lifters, probably 2 times per week frequency on each lift, and have one day pushed a little bit heavier, have one day pushed not so heavy, just for the sake of skill practice and extra exposures, and build up off that.
So does that mean I'm gonna have to start saying RPE?
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
no.
That's
Well,
where I draw the line.
you don't want to do RPs?
I made fun of them for too long.
No.
I feel like I'd be a hypocrite.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. It's just do a warm up set or do RPE 10.
Yep. Well, so
No,
I think,
that was a young view.
I think the biggest thing with like powerlifting training versus bodybuilding training is for powerlifting, it's more so about building momentum.
Right.
And if you were to do like a 10 RPE set on deadlifts this week, it's like next week you probably go up. 2 weeks from now you might be able to go up. 3 weeks from now you'd probably be like, I hit a wall and I'm dying.
Yeah.
Just because if we're doing like 10 RPE on the main week after week, it's hard to sustain progress. I think that that's where the value of RPE comes in for a powerlifter, because it allows us to keep a little bit in the tank so we can sustain the rate of progress for a longer time period. Because like lifting more 2 weeks from now isn't going to help you if you can't lift more than that 4 weeks from now.
Right. Yeah, you have to set it up so you can keep progressing all the way to the meet, right? That's what's going to be a bit different. It's like my training, it's generally like always, you do the warm-ups, then it's like RPE 10, like as much as you have to create the most stimulus possible, and then you figure out how much recovery time you need, and then you build your split kind of around that.
Yeah.
And
And
it's different, obviously.
And I treat the secondaries and accessories very similar to that. But I think the differentiation between like, say, a hack squat versus a back squat, hack squat is basically roasting the shit out of my quads. Whereas a back squat, if I hit a true RPE 10 on it, I am roasting the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
And it, again, like I make fun of the people that are worried about fatigue because so many people are going off of the deep end and being too afraid to push. But there is going to be, like in powerlifting, fatigue management on the mains at least becomes more important, or somewhat important.
Yeah. Okay, no, that sounds fun. You actually kind of just explain the utility of like machines like hack squats and whatnot, why they're, bodybuilders use more machine type things, because you can go like RPE 10 and keep it all in your quad.
Yes.
Right. Versus, the squat.
It's going to spill over into other stuff. And like,
It just does. Yeah.
and I think too, it's like for myself, at least, and you being, if you were to do a meet, you'd be a beginner, but you're not a beginner strength wise or muscularity wise. Like you'll have a little bit of a harder time with managing that. And again, I think that's why it's going to be important to like just, tomorrow don't pull anything that feels hard.
Yeah.
And we can just go up from there.
Okay.
It's like lay the groundwork.
Like, I'm
progress.
pretty open to
Yeah,
this, actually.
yeah,
This sounds
yeah.
kind of fun.
Oh, no shit, it's fun. Like it's lifting big weights is fun. And I think like we're bullying Johnny right now
Mm-hmm.
to get him to do the September meet. Because I think a little bit different circumstances because his strength threshold with what he has. I think you have a freaking you could do something very, very, very big. So I think for Johnny peaking into the September meet, for him it's like his threshold to express more strength is gonna be a lot lower than yours just because he doesn't have quite the same muscularity base and he hasn't trained quite as hard as you have for so many years. So I think for you having more headroom into the meet to actually set up a peak will be more valuable, whereas he just needs to squat, bench, and deadlift, and he'll do more than fine.
Yeah.
But what's funny is like him coming over and training with us, the couple sessions he's done, he's like, he's doing both more volume and more load than he ever did as a bodybuilder.
Really?
And I'm like, this is why you need to do this shit.
And didn't he say he's squatting for the first time without knee pain too?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Just made his squat technique not suck balls. And didn't even have to do anything fancy. Like he was almost so again, typical bodybuilder squat, like he want to try to put it in the quads.
Mm-hmm.
So he was going ultra narrow, but he was so narrow to the point where it wasn't working with his leverages. Because he was crumpling and binding up in the bottom and just having to shove around shit that he didn't have space for. So he just opened up his stance a little bit, made room for his knees and hips to operate, and it's working.
So am I gonna have to squat more like Durrell? Because he's a taller guy too, where you do like more hip hinging versus like chest upright and straight down?
I will have to see how it looks again.
Yeah.
I would suspect with how strong your legs are, you probably wouldn't have to go as extreme as him in terms of hinge. Like you can probably take more advantage of more knee travel and getting in there because strong quads, use them. But we also need to have enough hinge that we're not having to kind of like tip forward to go up. So we'll see how it looks and we can adjust. But
yeah,
I gotta suspect like my guy Keelan in Ireland, I suspect your squat will look probably pretty similar to his, where it is, tall guy, not super narrow, not super wide, moderate stance, as much knee travel as you can fit in. And then it's like he's getting to use a strong back, he's getting to use his strong legs in a pretty balanced approach. Whereas Durrell, where his back is just ungodly strong, the legs, they're getting there. Like the legs are catching up, he's putting in the work. But him, it's like he's going to be better off to take advantage and lean towards the strength and get as much legs to come in. But again, suspecting with you, we can be more balanced.
Yeah, potentially. I have no idea what to expect. Like I used to squat a lot and squat a decent amount. I would always like kind of probably bend over into it a bit more like Durrell. But I mean, I never had.
But again, long guy.
Yeah.
Do you have squat shoes?
No.
Do you have heels?
I was just threw things under my heels, like 5-pound plates.
Yeah, I might want to experiment with some elevation again. We'll see how it looks, but I think heels might do you some favors.
Yeah.
Have you ever done much like wide work or attic? Like
yeah, I wouldn't say a ton. Because like I always squatted quite narrow because, the line of thinking with that, or it used to be, that's how you get more quads, right? Like you keep your feet more narrow and then you keep them kind of further back to hit the quads. So that's what I did for forever because I wanted my quads to come up. Then I realized, or then I just tried like squatting wide. It absolutely like smokes your glutes and adductors and hamstrings. And so I started incorporating that to fill the thigh gap.
Yeah, and it's like, I kind of think too, like with your levers, like we might want to see how a wider looked. But again, it's like I don't want to overexpose the adductors as well if we haven't done a ton of that with a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Because having ripped off adductors is not a fun experience.
Oh my God. That might be one of the worst. I can't imagine. That would suck.
Yeah.
Is there a commonality you see among people who have knee issues who squat? Like, is there like a common theme you see where they're going wrong?
So a lot of it is going to, number one is, are they just, again, like the typical power lifter that, pushes his main squat adequately and then just phones in accessories? He's just not building the base necessary to let the knees operate. So it comes down to load management for, solving 99% of it, because if we build up the foundation to let the knees work, get the tendon resilience, get the control, then there's going to be minimal issue. Now, the other thing is if a guy is doing that, what kind of tends to happen is on his squat, we kind of see like the hips aren't working super well, which can then transfer more loading into the knees. If he isn't doing enough hip accessory, he doesn't have enough hip rotation. So then it's like, if it is that, it's like, I want to look at the hip mechanics. I want to look at how the hips are operating and seeing if he's kind of getting shoved too hard in the knees due to lack of hip ability. But the big lever is like, we just need to manage loading better. We need to get him doing better accessories to build up the knees so they can handle the loading. Because if all you do, if someone has knee pain, is we just do the trying to address flexibility, trying to address space, trying to address how they're moving. And again, like it worked for Johnny, but we're also getting Johnny to push the shit out of the stuff that's going to make his knees more resilient as well. Because if we don't do the resiliency building underneath the mobility and the mechanics, then you're just going to hit a load threshold where it flares up again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so quite often it's like something else that's influencing the knee pain, right? Like just not doing your accessories enough or not having strong enough,
Yeah.
whatever, adductor, abductor.
And like for myself with my knee history, like there were so many years where like my knees were just shit. They just did not work. And the kind of the thing in powerlifting at the time, the trend was sit back, sit back, sit back. If your knees hurt, you're loading your knees too much. So just avoid them more. And it's like the more I avoided them, the worse they got because I wasn't doing anything to build them up. And I just got to the point where my leg exploded.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was not a fun position to be in. And the solution wasn't to continue avoiding my quads. It was to just start doing quad work and just start making them stronger, making them stronger, making them stronger to the point where they're now like what my squat depends on.
Mm-hmm.
And like, looking back, it's like, why was I so freaking stupid to listen to these people that were telling me not to train quads and give my knees more rest? But at the time, it made sense with what I understood.
Yeah, and that was the information out there, right? And you also hadn't tried it. You didn't know what was good and bad information because you hadn't tried enough things.
And the other thing too was like doing any quad work at the time was painful. And I was the mindset that feeling any pain is terrible and it means I'm making it worse. But in order to make the painful thing stronger, we got to touch it a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean like if you have immense knee pain, max out hack squat for a heavy set of 6 RP 10.
Yeah.
That means like start at a weight that doesn't suck that you can do, and then just do reps till it gets kind of hard, and then build up off of that.
Mm-hmm. And stretch.
Yeah.
You stretch?
Yeah. But again, it's like the stretching in terms of pain. It's not like a lack of range of motion creates pain. It is, so pain being up here, like pain isn't in the knee, pain's your brain's perception of what's going on at the knee.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lack access to deep knee flexion, if you lack control over deep knee flexion, if you go to deep knee flexion, bottom out of a squat, and you aren't prepared to access that position, your brain's going to freak out and make it more painful. So the range of motion access isn't so much that it is fixing the pain, it's just teaching your brain that the position's safe. And then if we can accept that the position's safe, we can start to load it, we can build confidence, we can build trust, build tissue tolerance, and shit works better.
Mm-hmm. So in that same line of thinking, the reason for the squat shoes, do you think you're kind of avoiding improving your ankle mobility by putting on squat shoes?
So
isn't that kind of the same thing or no?
Yes, but the ankle being a joint that has a relative hard limit on how much range is accessible,
yeah,
that's going to be kind of the thing with it. And like going to myself wearing squat shoes, I have hardware in both my ankles. Like I broke both my ankles racing motocross. I tore my Achilles. So like there were many years where my ankle was just a freaking brick. Like it did not move at all.
Yeah.
And getting into squat shoes actually improved my ability to use my ankles. Now, this is kind of ass backwards logic because you think like, okay, you're reducing the amount the ankle needs to bend. How's it going to get better? But some of ankle mobility is actually going to be neurologically based, and whether or not you have the control over your knee and hip to allow forward knee travel. If you don't have that control, your brain is going to be like, no, screw this. We're locking down the ankle so we can't go there. So getting onto a heel wedge and just getting better at pushing knee forward without needing the ankle, in a way, it's like letting me have that control to better demonstrate the ankle flexibility when I use it. So I don't think it's a cop-out as long as we're doing stuff outside of it to make sure we're access to ankle.
Mm-hmm.
And then for that, it's like split squats, calf raises, etc.
Yeah. And I mean, squat shoes just blow up your quads too if you're training. Right?
Yep. And for you, like the squat shoe recommendation, again, comes from the lever length. So if we can get bonus knee travel, we should be able to make up for the long ass legs a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And knowing that your quads are strong, not worried about that.
Yeah. Because I worked on my ankle mobility for quite a while to improve my squatting because I never did do the squat shoes. And yeah, it's a big job to try and improve ankle mobility. And
one thing that people often overlook, again, I said ankles are a joint with like a hard limit because the tibia can only go so far on the talus before things are just going to bind up just because of how the ankle's built. Now, having hardware in there, mine's a little bit worse.
Yeah.
But what people don't think about is that we can change the relative position of the talus to the foot. The way that we're going to do that is everyone's kind of taught to like have their arch tall as possible when they're squatting, like root the foot, squeeze the floor, drive that arch up. But if the arch is elevated, the talus is also going to be tipped back more. So the talus is tipped back, the tibia is going to be able to go less further forward in relation to the foot. So bonus ankle range trick is just try to push your arch to the floor, let that thing flatten out, let that talus roll forward, and we're going to be able to access a couple more degrees of ankle range. And it's not going to be enough to make the biggest difference in the world, but it can help out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's so afraid, like, oh, that's going to create internal rotation in knee valgus. But it's like, motherfucker, for the knee to flex, we need internal rotation at the tibia in relation to the femur to get that initial knee flexion. We need internal rotation at the hip to get to powerlifting squat depth. And so many people like that have hip and knee issues, again, like the mechanical influence is if they're just shoving their knees out to infinity and get on the outside of their foot, it's like you're just not giving yourself the space to operate. So let the arch drop.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Okay, we haven't talked about what you're doing though.
What do you mean?
So Seth is doing a bodybuilding show. And roughly, when's your powerlifting meet?
December.
How many weeks?
19.
Okay.
19 and a half.
Okay. I was thinking the natural show, but I don't know if you'll be able to do that one. So
I think morality would stop me from that one. Having some degree of ethics.
Yes. Yeah, they might. Yeah, they might catch on just based on all the veins and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, Seth's gonna do his first bodybuilding competition after his powerlifting meet. I was looking at his side chest yesterday in the gym, and it's pretty thick. It's good, most muscular.
Yeah.
I didn't see any other shots. There's 6 more shots, but we'll go through them.
Yeah, not a good look though.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, you're being too nice. I'm ashamed.
You're just too tough on yourself.
The loose skin isn't helping me.
It's not helping, but I don't think it's too bad that you couldn't do well on stage.
Yeah. And I think like the biggest reason I want to do the show is again, like where I shut down the diet this time, leanest I've been in my life, not peeled.
Yeah. What you did now makes sense. Like you pushed down quite hard. You weren't eating food. You're eating very little and doing hard cardio. So that's when you need to do, either you need to do a refeed or you need to do like a 4 to 6 to 8 week period where you push up food. Like if you were in a contest prep setting and, I was dieting you down and you got to the point you were at, then we would feed you up for basically 4 weeks, pull cardio way back. If you do that very slowly and you keep everything locked in, you don't start having, a bunch of cheat meals or training like a pussy, things like that, you'll be able to stay just as lean as you are. You slowly increase food, lower calorie expenditure. And then after like 4 to 6 weeks, you're in a great spot and you can start pushing down again.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly the whole logic behind this right now is like, if I can not get fat into this meat, put on tissue, it'll just be easier to come off the next time and we just finish the job better and just repeat.
Yeah. And you'll be able to get leaner every time. For sure. For a couple of reasons. One, your metabolism will be in a better spot, but 2, you'll also just have more muscle. Right? Like I feel like you're growing since you started adding food, what was that, like a week ago?
Yeah, almost a week tomorrow.
Yeah. So like this last week and the next, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, there's more potential for you to add muscle than any other time in your life.
Yeah, but I'm excited for that because I've never done it right.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done it right.
Yeah, most people haven't.
And it's even cool seeing like going through the diet process for the first 7/8 of it being off drugs, like putting in drugs at the end, like I was in extreme caloric deficit. I was definitely adding tissue, which was very exciting. And like seeing even the progress this week, I was looking at my check-ins from last week, comparing it to like the mirror shots I did this morning. It's like, holy shit, this is wild. And I know a lot of that is just glycogen and water, but it's cool to see.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what you look like, right? Because you don't have the fat there.
And I think like realistically, again, I've talked about this before, but to be the best powerlifter I can be, I need to have more tissue. And that's going to be the limiting factor as of right now. And we're just doing what's necessary to do that.
More muscle moves more weight.
Yeah. Right. And what is...
Some people like to argue that, but...
Well, I mean, strength,
like to argue everything.
Strength is neurological to a degree.
It is.
But if you have more potential if you have more motor units available and you can train the neural system to access them.
If you have more muscle fibers, if you have 2 guys, the exact same people, one has 30 more pounds of tissue, they're the exact same people, same mindset. The one with 30 pounds more tissue is going to move more weight.
Absolutely.
That's just...
Yeah, that's
the maths. It's interesting that that's even like a point of contention, like why that's even debated.
Well, like what's freaking insane is Monday, yesterday, first bench day since putting food back in.
Yeah.
I was expecting to feel better. I was not expecting to have the strength that I did after how bad it was for so long.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I can attribute that to is like, I was still pushing as hard as I could on everything through the whole diet. And so now that I have fuel, it's like I was able to take advantage of the tissue that did come on. And it's like, holy shit, bench is going to be much better than I thought it would be.
Yeah. And you're still hungry, right? I'm sure you're starving.
So I don't know how to conceptualize this, but the mental hunger. So what I guess mental hunger, what I define that as is like I feel like I'm going to die, so much less.
Yeah.
Stomach hunger, like what the, like it doesn't make sense.
Like it's high.
So high.
Yeah, and see
But
that's
I'm just like ripping through food.
like that's why so many people mess up the reverse or like the rebound part.
Yep.
It's because you're still starving, and then it's like, oh well, we're adding food. We're not trying to get leaner for these 4 to 6
Yep.
weeks. Like, okay, I can have this cheat meal. I can
Yep.
start fucking off on my diet. And that's why most people's reverses and rebounds don't go perfectly. But if they do go perfectly, you can add tissue because you're giving your body just what it needs and nothing more.
Yeah, and with how Justin has it set up, I do have 2 cheat meals on 2 high days per week. And what is so wild to me is when I was in the ultra depleted state, like my high days now aren't that much bigger. Like my high day only went up like 100 grams of carbs through the whole day.
Yeah,
And
but that's like 2x, isn't it?
the high days I think it was 125 grams a meal.
Yeah.
And now it's 135 and 150
Okay.
per meal. So it's not that crazy in terms of carb increase compared to before. Yeah. But the rate that I am dropping back down after the high day, like I am just ripping through food right now.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the shithole of low calories and all the other training days, it would take me like probably 4 or 5 days to deplete off after the high day. Like yesterday I was talking to you, I was 260 yesterday morning.
Yeah.
High day was on Saturday. I was 255 today. It's like a 5-pound drop in a day. Like I'm just like I'm sweaty and I'm just burning through it. And like, this is cool.
You see, your body's in the perfect place. This is when I absolutely love. This is where like I want all my clients to get to, because then you can just slowly keep adding food, work food up to a really high point, and stay lean. That's like the perfect scenario.
Yeah, and my only kind of concern with this is like, okay, like yesterday I saw the 260. I was like, I might be in trouble because there's a large part of me that wants to make 242 in December.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like the balancing act of like, do I sacrifice the quality of the rebound to make 242?
I won't speak for you, but I feel like you want to just do whatever makes you as absolutely strong as possible and whatever sets you up to be even stronger in 12 months from now.
Yep. But then it's like the problem with that is like looking at the DOTS coefficient the powerlifting meets are judged by.
Yeah.
So like the DOT score is how like lifters are ranked across weight classes. The difference in DOT score from being, a 275 to a 242 is quite substantial.
In terms of like what the lifts are?
In terms of what I need to hit total wise.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a pretty big weight difference.
Because like mathing it out, I am naive enough to believe that getting the highest all-time Canadian male DOTs as 242 would be very possible.
Okay.
The number I'd have to hit would be like a 2060 total at 242, which based on what I've done is 308, I think very doable, especially now that I have my bench back to almost pre-pector levels on day 1 of benching after food coming back in.
Yeah.
The total to do it as a 275 would be 2237.
Okay.
It's like 80 pounds on total with, I mean, if I were to go full sand on 275, which I don't want to do because I don't want to get fat again, I could be 290. But I think like that discrepancy in total has me going like the 2160 at 242 feels very possible. The 2237 at 275 feels hefty.
Yeah. So what's more important to you? Getting a higher DOT score or lifting more weight?
Yeah, that's the tricky one. And like,
yeah,
stupid brain is like, well, if I have a shot at the all-time Canadian, I want to take it. But then that's like almost saying that I wouldn't have a shot at it at 275 in the future, which I also don't think that's true. It's just I'd have to be more patient to get there.
Yeah. That's an interesting question though that I asked, right? Like what is?
Yep. And again, I think like the smart choice will be to just ride out the rebound as well as possible, see where body weight goes. And if I start getting too fat around 265, we can pull back and be 242. If I'm not getting too fat around 265 at my lowest point of the week, then I think we can just roll. Yeah. And roll up.
But the beauty of this is like it doesn't happen overnight, right? Like it's not like in 2 days you're like, oh my God, I added 10% body fat.
Yep.
No, it's going to be incredibly slow. And if you're sending check-ins to your coach, who's quite good, you'll see it coming, right?
Yeah. And the other thing I'm thinking about too that is a little bit more out of reach is 242 all-time squat world record.
What's that?
It's currently 870.
What's your best in meet total or best squat?
So I haven't done a ton of sleeve meets in my life. So my best sleeve squat is 799.
Mm-hmm.
And that was natty last year when I was dieting wrong.
I feel like you could do that lift right now.
Right now, probably not this second.
Well, on squat day, what is it, Friday?
Saturday.
When do we squat?
Saturday. Something might blow off if I tried to load that up right now. But it's like, I know that on all my accessories, like the squat technique hasn't panned out yet, but with how strong my hack squats feel and knowing how well hack squats translate to my barbell squat, I'm like, that 80-80 to beat the 870 or the 876 if I wanted to be lame and chip it, like that would be like, I think there is a possibility, and like that kind of makes me want to hold on to 242.
Yeah.
Just to see if that's possible. But again, that's saying that it's like the 275 one won't be possible in the future. Well, I think if I do this right, I think it will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not like if you go for the 242 one, then you're gonna keep competing.
Yeah,
For years
exactly,
after, right?
Exactly.
You're gonna do the same process again. It will be easier next time.
Yeah, but I don't know.
know.
I think again, I think like the answer to my problem is just see where the rebound goes and make sure we take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And if I end up being heavier, I'd be heavier. If I end up being not heavier, be 242 and do our best.
Do you hate people who chip weights?
Hate? No. I don't know.
But I mean, if it's all they can do, then that's fine, right?
So one of my clients, Jordan Wong, he's the meet director for this meet,
Okay.
but he's gonna do the meet as well, and we're setting him up to take a shot at the 220 all-time world record squat.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of talking to him about this kind of plan, like it'd be so freaking cool for both of us to break an all-time world record on the same day, and he's like. He texted me, he's like, what are you thinking for attempts then? It's like, he gave like the 0.5 kilo chip. And I'm like, I'm not being lame. Like if I'm going to break the record, I'm squatting 400 kilo.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But.
I think it depends if it's there or not.
Yeah.
If you can lift more than 0.5 more than the current record, you better take it.
Yeah. Well, and right now with where the record is, it's like the difference between even like going the 2.5 kilo jump, like the 876 versus the 870.
Mm-hmm.
If I can squat 876, I can squat 881.
Right?
Like
that mass.
Yeah. I don't think that 2.5 is going to make a difference in my ability to do it or not. So
no, relative to the load, it's like such a small.
Yeah. So if I'm sending it, we're taking the cooler jump.
Yeah.
But that's a big if at this point, and I got to keep getting my shit together.
Mm-hmm.
But
who is that power? I've been watching his stuff. The best power lifter right now.
Golden.
That younger kid, and he keeps putting up the deadlift videos. Like, and he stitches them with like Hafthor's deadlift and Eddie Hall's deadlift.
Yep.
He's pissing everyone off in the comments.
Because pulling sumo is cheating.
He kind of.
Well, okay. Here's my whole stance on that. If I'm not, because everyone's like, oh, it's so impressive that you pull conventional, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, if I could pull sumo, I would pull sumo. I just can't.
Yeah.
Like if I could make it work, I would sure as shit be pulling sumo.
Yeah, the only reason we or I talk shit is because we pull conventional. Yeah.
And
my sumo is actually better than my conventional.
Really?
Yeah, I got strong on sumo quick. Like I have videos pulling 8 plates when I was like just turned 19.
So we're pulling sumo for the meet?
No, because sumo I feel in my glutes and hamstrings, and conventional I feel in my back. For about 5 years, I deadlifted 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I do straight leg deadlifts for my hamstrings. I do sumo deadlifts for my glutes, and I do conventional deadlifts for my back. Now, you can argue with me all day that it all hits the same shit anyways, but I disagree because when I do conventional, I choose to lift with my back. When I do straight legs, I choose to use my hamstrings, and when I do sumos, I choose to use my glutes.
Yeah, and I'm not going to argue with you on that.
I can't explain it further than that, other than I deadlifted heavy 3 times a week for like 5 years.
You know what I do for my sumo guys? I have them do conventionals. I have them do stiff legs.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you're going to pull sumo at a meet, like you only train sumo, because a stronger back is still going to help, even if the back isn't the limiter.
And it all crosses over. Like you're picking something up off the floor, so that just by nature is going to use largely a lot of the same stuff.
And even like for myself, for a conventional puller, like I will do long periods pulling sumo, just because having that extra effort to wedge in and pull my hips to the bar in sumo carries over so freaking well to my ability to do it conventional. Mm-hmm. And if my conventional wedge is ever feeling not there, it's like I just know I run away with sumo, it's going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that would be even would you use one of those as like a substitution? Like if you were conventional deadlifting, you stalled on conventional, you wanted to swap it out for a bit, would you substitute it with a different deadlift variation, or would you go to like a,
So it depends on what's feeling missing
back
for me.
extension or something.
So like if it feels like I'm just not assertive on like pushing myself to the bar on the initial break off the floor, that's where I'd run a sumo.
Mm-hmm.
If it feels like mid-range, or it's like my back is yielding and I'm not able to kind of like my back's yielding off the floor, I get stuck at mid-range because I'm in a shitty leverage position, then I'd run a block pull.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I for myself with my deadlift, I keep stiff legs in no matter what, just because with how I miss, like the stiff leg basically lets me chug through the point that I miss for way more reps than I ever could on a competition deadlift.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm gonna miss a competition deadlift, it's like it's going until I hit a wall and it does not go. Whereas a stiff leg puts me in the position at that wall and I can chug through more reps there.
Yeah. Okay. Potential issue. We can't wear straps at the meet, right?
Yeah, you're just gonna pull hook grip.
How do you train your grip for deadlifts?
Well,
Is it just deadlifting?
So you can pull
Or
hook.
is there like an actual exercise that you do?
So if you pull
You
hook
have that
grip,
like machine, the hammer strength one that you load the plates on?
yeah, no. If you pull hook grip, the nerds on the internet will say grip strength doesn't matter because it's all leverage.
Okay.
And I think that's because, again, like hook grip, you're locking your thumb in, the bar is pushing the thumb is getting pushed in the fingers, and it kind of all locks together.
Yeah.
Now, I don't agree that hook grip is independent of grip strength, because if the fingers aren't there to hold the thumb,
That'd be a crazy
it's just going to drop
statement.
out.
If it was totally independent of grip strength, I think you would like fucking rip your finger off or something.
Yeah, I think hook grip strength matters less than mixed grip, but I think that grip strength still does matter and can be a limiting factor.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that pull hook grip and then want to say the grip strength doesn't matter, like they're the same guys that drop their third deadlifts pulling hook. So you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I think, again, like knowing your history pulling with straps, I think learning to pull mixed would be more of a pain in the ass than learning to suck up your thumb pain.
Mm-hmm. Because it's gonna hurt my thumb.
It's gonna be ouchy, but it's not that bad. Like I'm doing it. I'm a pussy.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Because I
Like
my grip strength is quite good.
Yep.
But
and
when I did the heavy deadlifts, I always wore straps, so I don't.
Do you think you would be comfortable pulling mixed? Because again, I'm just thinking it's weird because I know that
I haven't done it in a long time because three's a long time. Like when I first started, I did mixed, and then everyone said, that's how you tear your bicep.
Yeah. And like
stopped.
Part of my thoughts too is like, I don't think the risk is tremendous, but I would rather eliminate the risk for you if you want to have pretty biceps.
You can't ruin. If I ruin my arms,
you're done.
I'll
we can't have that. So I think hook grip's going to be the answer. But
if I rip my bicep, I'd sell everything, go farm. I'd disappear.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Yeah, I can face the shame.
But deadlift grip strength. So if we're thinking about training it, like basically what we're trying to do is resist the bar rolling out the fingertips. Even if we're pulling hook grip, we're resisting like the thumb causing the fingertips to roll open. So what I like to do is just finger curls.
Yeah.
And easiest way to do that is either grabbing a barbell, putting it behind your back, doing finger curls, grabbing dumbbells, holding at your sides, doing finger curls.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a ton of work there to bring it up huge.
Yeah.
And usually in a lot of meet preps, like when I've come off an injury and I haven't been able to deadlift super heavy, as soon as I start deadlifting heavy, it's like, oh, my grip is not where it needs to be. I just put the finger rolls in for a couple of weeks and it's good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I used to do those like a long time ago. Yeah. I used to do everything I could for my forearms.
Yeah.
Just arms in general.
And the other cool thing with that too is like a lot of elbow pain is just like your forearm flexors they don't have the strength, they don't have the tolerance to be able to control the elbow joint because they're going to cross the joint, train those up, elbow pain. You get more resilient to what is pissing off the elbows. Mm-hmm. So added benefit there too.
I think you need to sell an ebook on forearm strength.
Do
This is surprisingly I don't want to say one of the most common, but it's surprisingly common questions I get from like either random people on the internet or people I see in the store. Younger guys, they come in and they're like, yeah, how do you build your forearms? Can you actually build them or is it just genetic? And they just ask me about how to train forearms.
I don't want to be a grip guy though. There's lots of grip guys.
Not a grip guy, a forearm guy.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to be that guy.
You got to market it as how to get big forearms.
You don't did it for me?
Frank McGrath?
No, for building my forearms? Bench, you get a multiply bench shirt.
Really?
Just because like I had to squeeze the shit out of the bar so hard and like because your humerus is so supported by the shirt, like this stability becomes so much more important. Like they gained an inch just for multiply, I'm sure.
Shit, an inch is a lot. I thought you were going to go a different direction with how you built your forearms.
No.
That's how I built mine.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, that's how I keep them full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the multiply benchers, like if you look at the guys that are really freaking good, like remember Tony Carlino? down in Florida. Like his forearms are like that big, but it's like, oh, he benches 1,200 pounds in his bench shirt. Like they have to be to stabilize that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Probably not the best route for normal people to go about forearm training, but
bench shirt.
Yeah.
Would you rather have really impressive forearms or really impressive calves?
Calves.
Why?
Because calves are like, it's the sign that this person's like legit. If someone has calves, it's just respect. Yeah. No, it's largely because not everyone has them or can have them. Probably that.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you can grow any muscle, but some are more heavily influenced by genetic factors than others. I think calves are one of the more largely influenced by genetic factors. To be clear, anyone can grow their calves and improve them, but in terms of like where your cap is, I think that varies quite a bit from person to person. So I think if you have them, then
Yeah.
you're an elite.
Well, again, this is coming from the guy on the other side of the genetic calf spectrum.
Do you not have calves?
No,
You
they're
have calves.
they're pretty
Oh,
okay.
you did. I wouldn't have ripped them if I thought you didn't have calves.
But so
I would have
like,
said that off the podcast.
looking at my mom.
Yeah.
Like my mom is like 59 years old now. She battled cancer for like 16 years, like endless rounds of chemo. She had her arm and half her rib cage lopped off.
Shit.
And she still has bigger calves than most people at the realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This never trained them.
Yeah. So like my whole take is like, well, I just had them. Not that cool.
You just had them?
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't.
No, they're just there.
Yeah, like without training them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even like in high school, like everyone's like, wow, your calves are so big. What do you do for them? Like, I don't know. I just exist.
Yes. See, this sounds bad, but then aren't you like, don't you just like look down on the people who don't have them?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I do make fun of Darrell. I do make fun of Darrell.
I don't do that either.
Again, powerlifting perspective, the guys that can just put their knee sleeves on without having to fight for their life, I am so freaking jealous.
Yeah.
Like if I could like have a calf atrophy program just so I can get sleeves on easier.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Gee, don't say that.
How do I shrink them?
You don't mean that.
In a way, kind of.
I don't know, man. Those have always just been like the coolest muscle to me.
But like if I could get tighter knee sleeves on, get 10 pounds more support out of a
You
tighter
got to
knee
get
sleeve
your
that actually
priorities
fits.
straight.
Yeah, you think that's the problem?
Calf atrophy program's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get you in a pair of stiff sleeves and you're going to be like, oh, this sucks.
So maybe my calves were never actually that good because I could always put on sleeves.
Yeah. Well,
But I didn't wear like hard sleeves.
Yeah, you haven't had the new generation of powerlifting sleeves.
Like I used to wear those old Reband.
Yep.
Reband. Yeah, and they were pretty light.
They're a different world. Man, you should go grab the A7s just so you can see. You got the Inzers that are closer. Well, you can't. If you had the A7s, we could make them try to put them on because there's no way your sleeves would fit them.
Okay.
Sleeves coming. Wait for this. This will be good. But
Okay.
everyone says like the new generation knee sleeves are like a knee wrap. The people that say that have never wrapped their knees well because they are nowhere near a knee wrap.
Like they're not wrapping them tight enough.
Yeah, they're not wrapping them tight enough.
Yeah.
Because like most people's tolerance to tight wraps, I'm a good knee wrapper. Like I've wrapped 1,100 pound squats.
Yeah.
I've wrapped the biggest squat on earth. Like I could pull those things freaking hard. And like so many guys like go to me like, hey Seth, can you wrap my knees? You're good at this, whatever. And then I'm like, how tight do you want? And they're like, fuck me up. And then I give them a tight wrap and they're crying and can't squat. And it's like, well,
You're just holding
you
this.
asked
I don't
for it.
think I can get this on. It doesn't.
yeah,
Mine
right.
I can stretch.
Yeah. So calf atrophy program.
Does it go this way?
Other way, logo down.
Fold it in half if you can.
Powerlifting is stupid.
What do you think about the SBD monopoly it meets? Did that affect you too, or is that just natural competitions?
That's just IPF stuff.
Oh, so it's
Well,
not you?
Yeah. And I mean, they make good stuff. They don't make a sleeve like this though yet, so it's kind of good to see A7 and INS are getting picked up more just because they're a superior product.
I mean the rule how they like you can only use SBD at the competitions now.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, it's a big thing.
Oh,
See, I'm around more natural powerlifters than you probably.
yeah. I don't care. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I really hope this is right. I'm quite sure I'm right. But yeah, you can only use SBD at these competitions now.
Oh, I thought that
This, this sucks.
I thought there was a ban on stiff sleeves that got reversed.
Yeah, I'm not talking about stiff sleeves and whatnot. It was just you can only use SBD
Yeah,
brand
I
stuff.
don't know. I'm not in the IPF world enough to.
Yeah, I wonder if that was you. Okay, yeah.
These are we did a bigger pair for you.
Can you get those on?
So what I do to get these on? So again, like coming from the
Oil yourself?
no, so I don't want them to be slippery. I want them to grab the skin hard. But what I do is back in the bench shirt days, they had things called bench shirt slippers. You put them on your forearms, you get the bench shirt over your forearm.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a pair of bench shirt slippers that I put over my calves and help slide them up. Get a little bit of less friction.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of like one of those like shoe horns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your knees must be rock solid in that. I feel like your knees couldn't hurt if you had those on.
So the problem is like with the calves versus my tiny ass little knees, is like there's space between the sleeve and the knee.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like if I had a smaller calf, I'd get a tighter sleeve on, it would be more
Yeah.
rock solid, but still nowhere near knee wrap.
I'm in disbelief by how unstretchy that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you get
I feel like
probably
you should just wrap at that point. Wouldn't that be easier?
so
Wrap it up?
no,
No?
wrapping well sucks. Like it's a lot of effort.
But I mean, at least you could get it on.
Well, so with a wrap, it's like getting this on versus knee wrap. One wrap is probably less effort than getting this on. And then if I'm wrapping on a meet day, I got to wrap myself 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's more of a pain in the ass for sure.
You just leave those on for the whole meet?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt?
Well, just for the squat.
Yeah. Does it hurt?
I mean, you get a little bit of numbness, but
Yeah.
just suck it up.
For sure you would.
But-
I don't think you could take growth hormone and put those on.
No?
You wouldn't feel your feet after 3 minutes.
We'll find out.
Yes.
And like I don't train in these regularly because everyone kind of wants to ask like, should I be training in my stiff sleeves all the time? It's going to be kind of dependent on how much of a pain in the dick they are to get on. And like this is what I'm going to compete in. I'm not going to wear it until like 6 weeks out for the meet just because I don't want to go through the pain in the ass of putting it on. And that's my whole factor.
Mhm.
Like someone can get into the easy, like I'm fine with them running it because I don't think the support is that extreme that it's taking away from the squat training. It's just it's not convenient enough to do it.
Okay. So you squat 800 pounds and then you put those on. What do you squat?
Like probably
Nah.
like 830. Like
Yeah.
you're not getting that much out of it. But then it's like my best squat in these being the 799.
Mm-hmm.
The meet that I did like 8 months before that, 925 in wraps. It's like the wrap carryover is
A lot more.
a lot more.
Okay. You wrap your elbows too?
No,
You ever do
it's
that?
not in the rules. Not allowed.
Can't do that.
It's
No.
one of the stupidest things.
Yeah.
Do you wrap your elbows?
No one wraps their elbows.
So you want to.
No.
Okay.
Well, I think it's kind of like, again, like it's the discrepancy in concept between an elbow wrap and a knee wrap. Very similar concepts, but it's just like one is standard powerlifting equipment, one is only weirdos. Don't want to be a weirdo.
What's the weirdo? The wrap?
The elbow wrap,
The elbow wrap? Okay. I've never seen someone do it in person.
yeah.
Just online.
And it's like just like the guys that want to show off a bench that will never count in a meet, and it's like I don't want to do a bench that'll never count in a meet.
Yeah, fair.
Whereas a knee wrap squat counts in a meet. But the problem is that the sport is shifting more towards a lot of the better guys in the bigger meets are becoming sleeve only. Hence why me trying to go into sleeves now
Mm-hmm.
versus
not-
wraps.
Okay. So you used to do wraps.
Yeah.
That's what you'd always do?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of just like going with where the sport was because, when I was first coming out of the multiply equipment because I was a loser and an idiot, getting into raw, like all of the big raw meets were raw with wraps. And now it's kind of transitioning to where more of the big raw meets are just sleeves. So it's going where the competition is.
It's the meets that set the precedent.
Yeah.
Right? They tell you. So what influences that decision? Why are they doing that? Is it because like the good people in the sport are saying this is what we want to do?
I think a little bit of that. And I think a lot of it too, again, kind of comes down to like wraps are a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Like competing in sleeves is such a nicer experience compared to competing in wraps. Like so much less stress. You just,
People are probably fucking up their wraps on show day too, right?
yeah, a little bit. But again, like I think that's something that if you are adequately prepared, you're going to be fine. If you're not adequately prepared, you're not going to be fine.
Yeah.
And like my least favorite thing is like in Ireland when I was handling Keelan was competing in wraps because that was a wrap meet. And like the guy before him, whoever was wrapping his knees was so freaking bad at wrapping the knees. So like for me to time Keelan's wrap was almost impossible because the guy was just like dropping his wraps and they weren't being super strict with the clock. So just like, well, I guess you're just gonna have to sit there and wiggle your toes for 3 minutes to
Try and keep them.
because on the opener
them.
I was anticipating that the guy would be a decent rapper and he would just get on the platform and squat, but the guy was not a decent rapper, so I was a little bit ahead on the opener, but we figured it out for the second and third.
So he doesn't. You wrapped him. He doesn't wrap himself.
Yeah.
Did he practice wrapping himself?
So that was kind of like the thing is like he was training self-wrapped for most of the prep. He had one of the guys in his gym start wrapping him, but knowing that I was going to be there and that I'm half decent rapper, he wanted me to try it and he had me do the first wrap for him on the day in the warm-up. He was like, yeah, this is good. We're running this. So
Yeah. I feel like that's what I want to do on meet day.
yeah.
Sit back, let someone wrap it.
Well, no, you're just putting sleeves on. December sleeve only.
Yeah, I'm not getting those sleeves.
You're
on.
gonna.
I used to use the rebound, like the super light rebound ones, and the only reason I did that, which is terrible upon reflection, but it was just because I had knee. That's when my knee pain started.
Yeah.
So like okay, and then my training partner, he always wore them. He was like 10 years older than me, so he's a bit more banged up. So I started wearing like these rebound ones on my knees, and it just gave me like just enough support to stop my knee pain.
Yep.
So I ran that for like 6 months, and that's when like I got like everything hurt, and that's when I started stretching.
Yep.
Stretching saved my life.
There you go.
I'm not even kidding.
Well, I think that's where how a lot of the sleeves and equipment, sportive equipment, is like marketed as like wear this thing to solve the pain.
Which is terrible. That's such a bad idea.
Yeah, and there's a powerlifter that's kind of that sells products like that. It's got a couple Instagram tirades on me about how I'm a useless influencer because I say to do things other than use his products. And it's like, well, your products are just designed to make up for having a weak as shit serratus. Train your fucking serratus and it's going to feel better.
Yeah.
Goddamn fucking losers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's annoying.
No, it is. Especially if they're marketing it as like a Band-Aid.
Yep.
Right?
Because again, it's like, yes, you can put the product on, it'll feel better, but then you become dependent on the product.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want anyone to ever have to live in a world where they think they need this thing to feel good. If there is a solution that we can put work in to make the thing stronger, make it work better, I'd way rather put the effort in. And it's like, yes, we could use the Band-Aid in the short term, but if we're just hiding a weak point with it, it's not going to be a long-term solution. You're probably gonna get more fucked up in the future just because you let it get weaker with the Band-Aid.
It just gets worse over time. That was like in the 90s when it was a big thing in bodybuilding to use painkillers before they trained, so things didn't hurt, and then all of a sudden everyone's tearing their shit.
Yep.
So you can't feel it.
And like on the note about the knee sleeves, again, I talked about how I don't think it's, if you can get them on and not be a pain in the ass, like I'm just wearing a bigger pair of these right now for my squat, so it feels similar. I don't think that training my competition squat in these sleeves is going to be hurting my knee health. Because again, like if I did everything in them, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing enough work without sleeves on that my knees are still getting the exposure that they need to be strong.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. It's kind of the same philosophy behind using lifting straps for a lot of guys. Right? They just throw them on when they need them for the heavy sets.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Dorian Yates, he had crazy forearms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he would talk about, is that he would just use the lifting straps for the heavy sets, like same with John Meadows. And then so you still get all the forearm work and train your grip strength, and then just for the sets you need it, like the heavy sets, strap up.
If you're trying to train your back, you don't want your hands to be a limiting factor.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of powerlifters that, again, you see the guys that drop in their third attempt deadlifts on meet day, is like they'll get going to training and then they'll pull a weight where they feel like the grip is giving out, they'll use straps to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And then because they're always using that as a crutch, they get screwed on meet day. But powerlifting is a different world where we need the hands to be strong, so we better be freaking exposing them. Whereas bodybuilding, if you're doing a row, like you don't want your grip to be the limiting factor in a row.
No, because it's different goals, right? Like your goal is to be able to do this lift in competition under their regulation, which is no straps.
Yep.
Bodybuilding, I want to grow my back.
Yep.
How do I put the most amount of tension on my back and limit it everywhere else?
Yeah, and like there's a dude that I see do these meets all the time, and like he's capable of such a big total, but then it's like he pulls 600 and drops 660 when he's probably capable of pulling mid sevens.
Is it Joel?
No. Joel's a different story. Joel has his hook grip troubles, but he could at least put up a respectable deadlift.
Yes.
But it's like if this dude just train your grip for 6 months and don't pull with straps for 6 months and be okay with deadlifting a little bit lighter just so you can get the hands in shape to hold on to the bar. Like all your problems will be solved.
I quite like with powerlifting how it's quite technical in terms of like you can look at the lift and then there's so many different routes you can take to improve that lift, and you look like what's the bottleneck, like what's giving out. If it's your grip strength, okay, then you need
like,
to make your grip stronger. Let's say you're failing at the lockout of the deadlift, right? Then you know exactly what to go train and build that lockout. Or if it's right off the floor, you can't do, you know what to go do for that. That's quite cool how you can like totally break down the exercise and figure out where the issue is.
And I think the advantage that I have in that as a coach is so much of like what's been taught about deadlift lockout is like do a rack pull to fix your lockout. When the problem with the lockout is usually it's not that we need to be stronger at a rack pull, we need to be stronger at that top end position. It's more so what is happening before that leads us to that position where we get screwed. So like if a guy has a lockout issue, it's rarely that we just need to run like rack pulls at the very top end. It's more so like we need to look at what's going on at the knees and what's happening to set up the shift where we get stuck. And the other thing too is like people are always taught like, oh, if you're falling forward on a squat, it's because your back is weak and that's letting you fall forward. But if we think about it mechanically, what's happening on a squat that does shift forward, it's like you're going forward so you can load the back more and finish. Like Darrell isn't tipping forward into squats because his back is weak. He's tipping forward into squats because his back is strong as shit and he can use it.
Yeah.
So if a guy's tipping forward in their squat, so it's like they're tipping, and like they start tipping and they can still grind through it. That's not a weak back. That's their squats aren't strong enough to stay in a squat pattern without good boarding it.
Yeah, and that's probably where it really shows through the different levels of coaching and powerlifting, right? Because I'm sure like the amateur coach would see someone fail at the top of a deadlift and be like, oh, that movement is the exact same as a rack pull.
Yeah.
You need to do that.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's fascinating. I'm pumped. For tomorrow.
And I think too, like, again, I think if you were to do the December meet, like you would put up a gross total. Like you would hurt some feelings.
Maybe I don't want to say that on camera.
I'll say it. The base is there.
God. See, now my motivation is just to not let Seth down.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's give me a motivation for May.
What's that?
My motivation for the May bodybuilding show.
That's
Just not embarrass you.
Yes, exactly.
But again, it's like everything I talk about in terms of what it takes to be a good powerlifter, you've done 90% of it except for pushing heavy singles on squats and bench.
Yeah.
That's it. And like you have such a good base. And again, like even equating it to like my experience going back to food and like having all of the machine work that I put in order to make that 405 for 5 happen last night, like you've done the equivalent level of machine work that I have.
Yeah, a lot of machine work.
Yeah. Arms are strong.
Yeah.
Chest is strong.
If relative.
We set you up in a position where you can take advantage of the arms and not have the chest be too limiting.
Yeah.
Like you'll bench something good. So
Yeah.
I ain't worried. I'm excited. You'll hurt feelings.
I'm quite excited to like video it and break down the form.
Yeah.
I've only ever done that with deadlifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my deadlift is more like a straight leg than anything.
Which is again like looking at your limb lengths. Why not take advantage of it?
Yeah, that was just the play. Like I pulled both ways, like squatting down more and then like having my legs straight, and that's just the strongest way. It's like what I just fell into what I could lift the most weight at.
Which is
that's somewhere between
perfect.
A conventional and a straight leg.
Well, you see so many guys that are built like you that try to go way knees over the bar like me, and then their hips need to shoot up for them to get to a leverage point where they can break it. And the easiest way to tell whether or not your hips are a good height for a deadlift is where do they go when the bar breaks the floor? If the bar and the hips move at the same rate, we're probably in a good hip height. If the hips are shooting up before the bar, we probably could just afford to have hips higher.
Yeah.
And then some of that might need to be like, if a guy is built like me and his hips are shooting, we probably need to crank up quad work so he can get better leg drive in. But if a guy's built like you, like I'm fine with a higher hip. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
I want you to look at, you watched my deadlift. Did you ever like break it down in your head?
It's pretty.
Oh, okay.
You look like a guy that pulls good.
Great.
I ain't worried
wasn't
about
expecting
it.
that, to be honest.
Yeah. And like, I think the
You're gonna
only thing lacking is going to be kind of how can we set you up to take more advantage of the strength you have? Because you're kind of doing like the little bit of like the grip and rep, right?
Yeah, just grab it and stand up.
Yeah, which is good. But I think we get a little bit more intention into creating pre-tension before we stand up. We should be able to catch a little bit more stretch reflex and kind of like fake an eccentric into the deadlift.
Okay.
So like what I'd be probably looking for tomorrow is how I like to coach like for most lifters, again, we'll kind of see how the shape looks. Like with how you're built, you might be able to go more Durrell style where we don't need to start hips high. But what I like to do is start with a pretty high hip position, put tension to the bar like I'm doing a stiff leg, use that tension like I'm doing a stiff leg to lock in my lats, and then it's like I'm just hamstring curling and lat pulling myself into the bar to get stretch reflex of the quads.
Yeah.
And I think we can get a little bit more like deliberate upper back set, a little bit more pre-tension. Like it'll be cool.
Do I need to wear a belt?
Don't need to. I mean, it might help you lift more.
Wow.
And there, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like my only
Name
kind
of
of
the
like
game now.
hesitancy towards saying absolutely yes is like knowing how strong your pull was beltless. The belt being a little bit of a learning curve, like you might just be like, screw this thing that's getting in my way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. Like I've worn them for maybe like 10 workouts in my life.
Yeah. Do you have a belt?
No.
Okay, we can share tomorrow.
No, I had one from like Walmart that's back in like Saskatoon.
Yeah, we can share tomorrow. Try it out and see.
Okay.
But like belt on a deadlift, like all I'm thinking about with the belt is again, being a stumpier lifter, I can't run it super tight because if I run it super tight, I can't get to the bar. But when I'm in the bottom, it's like all I'm trying to do is just like flex my abs so I feel tension in the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just keep that ab flex.
Yeah.
And it helps everything rigid up a bit.
Yeah, see, I've never even like thought of like my thought process before a deadlift. I guess I just like kind of like, yeah, flex my abs, chest up high.
Yeah.
Bro, I think it was shit.
But again, it's not shit pulling 865.
55.
Oh, same thing. If you can pull 855, you can pull 865.
That's true. That's true. That's right.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. Because again, and we don't need to obsess over technical perfection. Obviously, more efficient technique will lead to higher levels of output, but like just being strong is going to make up for technique, and then we just have technique good enough to not die and or not get red lights.
Yeah.
And we'll be good.
Well, we'll see if there's any strength there.
There will be.
Yeah. Well, potentially, hopefully.
Like you've tried that Panada hack squat, right?
I don't know.
Anyone?
I don't know if they have.
Oh, well, we're gonna find out.
You gonna try that?
Well, we're gonna find out where you are on that, because I was gonna say like if you try it and you're loading up like 7 plates, I'll be like, yeah, you're squatting 7 easy on meet day.
7 plates. Yeah. We'll see.
Darrell and I did 6 on it last week.
Yeah, but you guys are strong right now.
I'm not.
You just hit like a bench PR.
Yeah, but it's bench, different lift. But again, like knowing like me doing 6 plates on that thing, it's like I know that with how heavy it is, like I'm gonna be set once I figure out the squat technique and this body weight.
Okay.
Oh, the funniest thing happened before that set.
Sorry, which set?
That hack squat set where Darrell and I did 6 plates.
For how many?
I think I went 8 and he was an asshole and went after me, did 9.
Yeah.
He took like 45 seconds between reps though to get that 9th one. So I'm counting it as like a tie at least.
Yeah, you went to the bathroom between reps.
Yeah, pretty much. But like before I was getting ready for mine, like I was kind of like getting in the mental state to do a top set. And this kid walks up, like he's talking to Johnny, and he's like something about how like powerlifters shouldn't be doing that much volume and they should be doing more stuff on barbells. And I just kind of like looked over and I'm like, well, the powerlifters that fucking suck do that. And he's like, well, I have this friend that squats 500 pounds and only does with the barbell, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why is 500 pounds good? Why do you think you know something because you know someone that sucks at the sport?
He was trying not to explode there.
Yeah. I was fucking furious. The guy.
Yeah, for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
Largely because he threw out my friend does 500 pounds.
Yeah. I think I need to start doing your route and grab the purple towel when I'm on the non-powerlifting side.
Yeah, just headband it.
Yep.
Yeah. One around your arm, one around the head.
Yep. Just do not talk to me.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. I think it's like the only downside of that gym is like I'm exposed to more normal people than I'm used to.
Yeah. Yeah, which is interesting because there's such a wide range of people there. There's the people who are like really, good at whatever sport they're doing, and then all the way to the people who, just started training a few months ago.
Yep. But I was also thinking too, like we are at such a extreme advantage over most powerlifters being there. I think number one, from the equipment standpoint, and having so many things that we can use to target different areas of range of motion, different leverage points.
Mhm.
The other thing too is like having you in there to like set the standard on delt raises for me.
that
That was a fun experience last night.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like having like AJ and Marcello and having all the pros in there, and like seeing the bodybuilders doing like ridiculous shit on machines that I'm like, oh, if AJ could do that, I should probably be trying to do a little bit more.
Fuck
If
yeah.
Travis could do that, I should be trying to do a little bit more. And like it's just like compounding into like getting stronger and all the little stuff is like, again, like that bench wouldn't have happened had I not been watching when you guys are using the machine presses.
Yeah. There's crossover with everything, right?
Yep.
Like it's a
And
strong
even-
body.
And even too, like with Darrell and I being where we are, and like we're just playing back and forth on all of the machines and everything, just trying to whoop the other guy's ass.
Yeah.
And it's like I do not want to get beat by him at all. He doesn't want to get beat by me, and it's just like turning into both of us getting better.
Well, it's awesome because you guys are like in a lot of, like, if you took the average, you guys are like somewhat similar in strength
Yep.
for certain things, right? Because that's what makes it a lot of fun when you're,
Yep.
yeah, both training together and trying to beat each other.
Yeah.
Is that there's always like just about always potential for either of you to win.
Yep.
Right.
For that, it was nice last night to finally not get outbenched by him.
Yeah. Does he
It's
usually outbench you?
Well, since I've been skinny
I
and
guess-
sad.
Yeah. You rip your pec.
Yeah. So it was a couple years of, pec ripped off, coming back from that. Like he had the edge for a little while, kind of just squeaked ahead of him. Then I got skinny and he's had the edge for the last 7 months, and
Yeah.
it's good to be back. And like it was kind of like joking with him. It was like, imagine a world where for like my deadlift didn't get stronger, but you couldn't pull more than me for 7 months. Like imagine living in that world.
Yeah.
Like
It's hell.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to be back. It's making me optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun when you're in that environment, right? Just being around a lot of people trying to do the same thing as you, in
Yeah.
their own respect.
Yep. And I think even like I say, like the normal people in there, like they're all, with how much the gym costs, like they're all high achievers in life.
Mhm.
And I think just like even if they aren't in it as we are with training, like they're in it into something else,
Yeah.
and
There's
it becomes cool.
there's a few Ferraris that are usually parked
Yep.
out front.
Yep. Makes me feel very poor pulling out of that parking lot, but
Yeah, I don't like it because it makes me start to want one, and I never wanted one.
no.
No, I've never cared about vehicles, which I've been quite happy about.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, should I open another supplement world or should I buy a new Ferrari? And one of those is a much better decision than the other.
Well, you could open 3 more supplement worlds to buy a Ferrari.
Yeah,
No.
no, bro, it's things just keep coming up.
It's one of those things where it's like I very much appreciate cool cars and I think they're cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of the same thing where it's like, again, maybe if I was much more financially well off than I am right now, I could justify it. But I think it's like, excuse me, difficult to justify.
It's so difficult to justify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like my dangerous spending habit right now is camera shit.
Yeah. You
But I
see,
can-
everyone has something.
But I can mentally justify it.
Yeah, well, it's an investment.
I'm using it.
Yeah.
It's going to help me do better in the future.
Do Ferraris go up in value?
I think it depends.
Might be an investment.
Yeah. Yeah. Depends. Depends highly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
No. No, anyway, I'm staying away from cars yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need the cameras though.
I have a camera.
We'll need a better camera.
I need to use my camera.
Yeah, that's probably for step number 1 is actually start filming more shit for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to talk to you about your setup after this, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing that fancy. Okay, you don't need 7/8 of what's over there.
It's pretty bad. He has a 46-inch LED here for his computer.
59. Don't cut me those 13 inches.
It's curved, too.
Yeah. Yeah. What's actually funny is like,
Better.
so Niana wanted the 49,
Yeah.
and I went to the store and I was like looking at the 49, looking at the 59. I'm like, the 59 is too big. So we got her the 49, and I was like using it and playing with it. I'm like, I need the bigger one.
Yeah. So what's this one?
59.
And you have one as well upstairs? Another massive one?
Not that big.
Yeah. Looks diminutive.
It's pretty big.
It's like looking at this screen, then I go upstairs to her office, and it's like, oh, this is sad.
Like most people have a 50-inch like TV in like their living room.
Yeah, but it's diagonal measured,
Probably
and
less.
it's wide and short.
It's probably overestimation.
Yeah. But okay, so like my justification for that is like with everything I do work wise,
Mm-hmm.
it is so much faster to work having it spread out horizontally versus running a dual monitor like I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's my justification.
I know I'm very close to buying one of these setups. I'm probably
Yeah.
actually going to do it this
Like,
week.
you just need a computer that can handle the editing if you want to do video,
Yeah.
and
I do.
you don't need a stupid monitor.
No, I just need a MacBook Pro, right? And then a
Yeah.
monitor.
Yeah. Hey, has anything in the coaching world pissed either of you guys off recently?
I don't. The audio will piss off Miata, or the audio will pick up Miata. But Miata asked if anything has pissed off Travis in the coaching world.
Oh, was that to me?
To either of you. I feel like both of you had something that you wanted to say in the podcast.
I don't know
I
if I
did?
want to call him out because he should probably go to jail.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
just it's been on my mind lately because there's this like it's the same coach, and I've seen 3 of his plans now, and it's like the most insane like drug thing
oh yeah.
you've ever seen.
I've seen some powerlifting
Yeah,
coaching
actually,
drug plans.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, there was.
And anyways, it's just frustrating because it's like these people hire you because they trust you, right?
Yep.
They trust you as being an expert in this field, and then you're giving very bad advice that will damage you long term.
Yep.
And these people don't know any better.
Yep.
And no one's ever going to figure out what they did wrong until 5-10 years down the road.
When something bad happens.
Yeah, which takes a while for that to happen, but it will happen.
Yep.
And yeah, I just seen the 3rd plan from this guy like 2 days ago.
And
It's
it's
been
like
on my mind.
it's not good.
No, he should probably go to
Like-
jail. If you're
Numbers wise, what's going on?
like, he had this one guy cruising. So like cruising is when
Yep.
you're supposed to be on either nothing or like 125
So
milligrams of testosterone.
2 gram cruise,
800 milligrams amassed for the cruise.
and that's it.
Yeah,
Man.
I never took that much in my life.
Yep. Yeah, that's a little bit wild.
Yeah, and then there's a couple more, but I coach his old clients now, and I don't want to say it and
Yep.
put them in an awkward
Start-
position.
Yeah. And it's kind of like my whole take on that is like when I see bad shit in regards to powerlifting coaching, like again, like part of me does want to put on blast, but I don't want to be the guy that's building his audience on putting people on blast.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the guy that's building audience, building roster by doing as good as I can. And it's like if I do my job and do as good as I can, like that's gonna make that guy look bad.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's just, how many people are going to get hurt.
Yep. And I think what I want to question too is like when I see shit like that drug wise is like, what are you making up for? Like what is missing that you think this is needed?
It's because you're not Phil Heath yet.
Yeah.
And this coach thinks that's what Phil Heath takes.
Yep.
I know guys like Phil. They don't take it.
No.
No.
Well, I think one of the bigger reasons I made very bad decisions with dosages in my early 20s was like in Alberta untested powerlifting, there was this attitude like, oh, Dan Green is only doing what he's doing because he's taking this massive hypothetical cycle that everyone's like wants to say that he's taking because of what he's lifting and how he looks.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole logic was, well, if that's what Dan Green has to do, like that's what I'm going to do.
And
And when the number
honestly
was
fair.
not based off of anything that he actually did, it was just some fucking idiot making up absurd claims. As
Oh,
that's
it
the
wasn't
only-
real.
No, it was like it's just the guy saying he's only good because he's doing this when he wasn't even doing that shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother thing. This isn't right, but I at least can understand. I can understand the thought process if your idol in the sport is taking,
yep,
this high number of whatever. I can understand the thought process
Yeah.
of doing that, but it's when they're not even doing that.
yes,
It's like you're copying no one.
yep,
Uh,
yeah. So
yeah, you
I-
remember that?
I wish I wasn't as silly as I was in my early 20s, but I think the biggest thing is like I can firmly say that it is not worth it.
No,
Nothing
it's
good
not.
happened.
No, there's a threshold where
You just feel
Like-
terrible.
once you hit close to maximum benefit with the least amount of side effects, you hit that number, and then when you go past it, it's diminishing returns in terms of what you get from it, and the side effects increase exponentially.
Yeah.
Like, so you hit a good point, and then you don't get much benefit for more, but that's when you get way more side effects. Do you remember
Mhm.
when, I don't know if you know about this, it was called the Chad Nichols death protocol. Do you know who Chad Nichols is? So he coached 4 out of the top 5 Mr. Olympia guys in the late 90s. He was the first big coach.
Mhm.
And he coached Dallas McCarver. You remember Dallas?
Yep.
And Dallas passed away, and then his cycle got leaked. and everyone was saying like this is what Dallas was doing, and then it ended up coming out that was the list he sent him to get for the entire prep.
Yep.
And it's going around, this is what he took a week, that's why he died. It's like, no, that was for 16 weeks.
Yep.
You fool.
Yep.
So yeah, anyways, if your coach sends you something sketchy, talk to another coach. Or at least the easiest thing, put it into Chat GPT and say, is this a good idea? Will this kill me?
Yeah.
And like, if it's crazy, Chat GPT will tell you it's kind of crazy. Like
You trust
that's
it
the
to know
easiest
that?
way. No, I don't. But I'm saying that would be the first step.
Yeah.
If you think something's fishy, put it into Chat GPT, say, does this seem normal? And then if it doesn't say this sounds completely normal, ask a coach you trust.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ask someone, man. I don't want to talk about drugs a bunch, but
yeah.
don't hurt yourself because you can.
Yep. And like with the untested lifters that I coach, I don't think that it is the biggest factor in performance. And kind of my whole philosophy on my untested lifters is I kind of let them make their own decisions because it is their own choice, and I don't want to tell them to do something that they aren't comfortable with. But what I will say is they're trying to do something that I am not comfortable with. It's like we are holding our horses because we do not need to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the polish on the car. It's the polish on the Ferrari.
Yep.
Right? The gear isn't the Ferrari.
Yep.
It's the polish on it.
And you're the guy yelling at you for not to listen to you because you are untested.
Oh, what's it like this morning?
Yeah.
That dude? Oh, yeah. Yeah, what was the video he said? Okay, so there's this guy on one of my videos, the deadlift video.
Yep.
And he said no one cares because you're untested or you take PDs or whatever. And then he just went on like a whole bunch of he was finding like old selfies saying like you're ugly, whatever, things like that. And
but his whole page is like talking about how you should never listen to someone who's on steroids if you're natural.
Yeah. And he said because they don't even have to worry about wear and tear or getting injured. And so I replied to his comment. I was like I said the direct quote. I was like, do you stand by this? Someone who takes PDs doesn't have to worry about wear and tear or being injured. And he's like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, okay, well, we can't really have a conversation because you're not open to the idea that you might have bad information.
Yep.
You can't have a discussion if they're like not open to.
Well, I think it's pretty commonly accepted in untested powerlifting that if a guy goes from a real cruise to a blast that is your other guy's cruise, what usually happens is going from that cruise dose to going to a more like real meat prep dosage is your tolerance to volume actually gets lower because you're more efficient at contracting. And like I found this, I was reminded of this so painfully when I caught back on stuff is like I had immediate boost in performance. Like I felt kind of had energy again. I could push a little bit harder. And I was like, holy shit, I'm freaking dead because I haven't pushed this hard. Like I needed to pull back volume substantially going back on stuff versus when I was off completely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it does in a sense let you have greater degree of adaptation, greater degree of neural efficiency, but that almost makes it so you need to be more cautious because you can overstep so much easier.
Certainly. No, you are absolutely at a heightened risk of injury if you're taking PEDs, some more than others, because look, if all of a sudden your muscle gets way stronger, your joints and ligaments don't get stronger. There's certain things that'll actually make it like weaker and more brittle.
Mm-hmm.
So then all of a sudden you have weaker joints and stronger muscle.
Yeah, it's a recipe for if you aren't cautious with it, shit can go sideways.
That's why this guy's I was like, this is like so wrong. This isn't like gray area wrong. This is just wrong.
Yep. And I do get it because like that's the shit that gets repeated on the internet all the time. Is like you can recover so much easier, which to a degree, yes, but if you have more to recover from, you still need to be more cautious so that you don't overshoot and overcook yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I get the logic, but
I don't get the logic behind his statement. No.
I can understand it if he has no education or no understanding or no experience.
I think he's just mad.
Yeah,
he's
probably.
Weak.
Probably.
Yeah,
Look at his other posts.
It sucks. It sucks being weak, but
Yep.
you can fix it, brother.
Yep. And
you won't fix it by hating on me.
And I think that in terms of like me being able to coach an untested lifter,
mm-hmm.
with how I look at programming, I don't look at programming and workload and volume and effort in terms of like, I treat every tested lifter this way, treat every untested lifter this way. I just look at what the guy's capable of doing, capable of recovering from, and we tailor the program to fit his recovery needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some untested lifters that are super out of shape when we start, and we got to start very, very, very conservative so that they don't blow themselves up. I've had some tested lifters that are in insanely good shape and can tolerate so much volume and so much work, and we just, they're happy being smashed, so we keep smashing them and it's working well. But I've also had it the other way where like the untested guy's out of shape, and we don't treat them the same as the untested guy that's in shape. We just treat them like they're an individual, whether or not they're on gear, because their individual differences will make more of a difference in how we set up the overall workload compared to whether they are tested or not.
Yeah, certainly. And I'm like off the start when you make someone's plan, it's an educated guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at this person, you hear all, all the information about them. You're like, hey, I think this will probably be the best plan for you to start with.
Yep.
You give it to them, and then you see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the exact same protocol if you're coaching someone enhanced or natural. I hear everything. I'm like, hey, this is probably the best plan for you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll send me updates in 4 days, a week, 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and we make adjustments. It's the exact same thing.
Yep.
The only difference with enhanced people is that you have more tools to play with. You have more cards to play, especially like in a contest prep setting. You have a few more cards, but other than that, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even on the powerlifting untested side, it's like, yes, you have more cards to play. Like you can take things to make you feel stronger during a meet prep. But my whole logic is like, if I need to play those cards, I fucked up the off season.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then it's like, if someone is on the verge of breaking an all-time world record, it's like, okay, maybe we can say like it's worth playing those cards. But if someone's, untested, again, it's like, it's kind of the whole thing is like, it's probably not even worth going the untested route unless you are going to be very good. But if someone wants to make that choice and they are just kind of going to the meet to do the best that they can, I don't think it's ever going to be worth like doing anything extreme.
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And that's their decision too. If someone wants to take PEDs, they're going to do it with or without you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reality is 95, 98% of cases, if they want to do it, they're going to do it.
Yep.
So, and then, you just have to, if they're going to do it and they're not going to go far, then just be very reasonable.
Yep.
There's absolutely no reason to be doing something that's going to put your health at risk.
Yep. Because again, it's like, take a little bit, get a decent boost. Take a little bit, the diminishing returns hits hard, and you're not helping yourself.
And your first little bit is going to give you the biggest boost. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. It was Ron Partlow always used to say this, and I stole it from him. And he said, if you can't get huge off a CC test and a tab of D-ball, then you shouldn't.
You're not going to do it.
He said, don't bodybuild. I took it a step further. I said, if you can't get big off a CC test, then brother, don't try and push it.
Yep. There was
if you actually have the potential to be good, that's going to blow you up.
Other than the Dan Green hypothetical cycle that people were talking about when I was first starting.
Yeah.
Another terrible piece of advice that I was exposed to was there's old school powerlifting forum called Outlaws Powerlifting. Terrible place. Never. I don't even know if it exists still.
Yeah.
But there was a old school lifter on there that always used to talk about like, if you're going to run your first cycle, it'll be the best gains of your life. So you need to max that out. And like he was like recommending the guys, like I don't even know if this was a troll or not, but like this was confirming everything that I wanted to think. And he was basically just saying like, take literally everything under the sun your first cycle, because you're gonna be able to get the best gains of your life, and it'll never work like this again. So you need to do everything you can.
Yeah.
Oh, I just felt terrible.
For sure.
Nothing good happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
no, you need so little, right? It's all about exposing yourself to a new stimulus.
Yep.
And there can be a lot of different types of stimulus, whether it's training, supplements, or food, right? So get the most out of the least and then work up if you need to.
And what is the most wild to me about like putting drugs in versus putting food back in? I got so much more out of food than drugs.
Oh, for sure you would.
Yep.
I'm sure a week ago if I asked you, Seth, what do you want? Do you want to take some supplements or do you want to eat some food? I'm sure you would be like, give me food.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Anyway.
Be responsible, children.
Be responsible. I got to go blow up these arms.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
Go get a pump.
Arm day. It was supposed to be, hamstring glute day, but saving that for tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. We're going to roast them.
Yeah, we're going to deadlift.
You get a speed squat with me before deadlifts?
Squats?
Yeah.
Sure.
Get light squat exposure in?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sick. Easy peasy.
This is going to be humbling.
You'll be fine. You're going to beat me. Guaranteed, how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, that's not true. There's not going to be any videos of me lifting for about 2.5 weeks
Oh,
because
they'll be in the vlog. The camera's rolling.
it'll take me about 2 weeks to get strong again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Alrighty. Toodly-doo.